So the right is really digging in with these Hunter Biden leaked emails via an alleged abandoned computer laptop hard drive at a Mac store in Delaware. That New York Post reporters have actually tried to distance themselves from, because they also question the legitimacy of these claims from their own newspaper. But anyway, they're really digging in here, though, right? Because this is pretty much all they seem to have, as we are now less than 2 weeks away from the election. And what we know so far is that there are emails that appear to show Hunter Biden engaging in nepotism, trying to use his position as the son of Joe Biden, a former vice president, to put together meetings to try to gain, curry favor with Ukrainian businessmen. Again, there's nothing implicating Biden, and it just shows Hunter Biden apparently being thanked for introductory meetings of some sort. Again, no proof of these meetings happening. It could have just been an email saying, with Hunter Biden saying he would do so. A lot of this stuff, again, is very iffy and is being sort of pushed forth as something that the emails don't show is there. But anyway, yes, the nepotism stuff is horrible, but the right, realizing, especially people like Donald Trump Jr., realizing that they don't really have a leg to stand on when it comes to the nepotism angle, they're trying to push that there are other things in these emails that, weirdly enough, as we inch ever so closer and closer to the election, haven't been released yet. I don't know why you'd hold this stuff. Let's hear what Don Jr. has to say that he's apparently in the know of in these emails.
I mean, money tied to human trafficking and prostitution rings in the other one. That's another big one. The Chinese money. Joe Biden is compromised 100%. You think the Chinese gave...
Right. So the Don Jr. is here on Fox spreading this insane conspiracy theory, which I'm going to bring up where this all began. So Natural News, which is it was actually a growing source of online health conspiracies, and was actually one of the, it was the number one source of health-related conspiracies and on Facebook, until Facebook was forced to ban the site from being shared on its platform because they went all in with the drinking bleach stuff at the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic. Natural News.
I just knew them as like big anti-vaxxers.
They're big anti-vaxxer stuff too. Yes, they are still actually one of the main pushers of conspiracies related to health issues. But they lost their standing on Facebook because Facebook realized this stuff is dangerous. Because drinking bleach can be bad for your health. Shocker. They went all in with a story that says, this was the headline on Natural News. Exclusive. Chinese whistleblower reveals Hunter Biden sex tapes contain video of Joe Biden's son sexually abusing multiple underage Chinese teens. Now, InfoWars took this story and took it a step further with their own featured reporting, claiming Trump set to release proof of Hunter Biden raping and torturing children in Chi-Com blackmail scheme. Now, I would like to stress that this is now a story that's almost 15 days old. This was, I'm sorry, not 15 days old, a week old, I should say. We're less than 15 days from the election, I'd say, but the story's a week old. And they haven't released any of this stuff. I mean, if you're holding on to a video of a presidential candidate's son raping children, I think that'd be a pretty big drop. I know there's the whole idea that, this is a person's son and they're not running. And that's actually a great excuse for why emails putting together business meetings aren't really that diabolical as they try to push them. But the raping videos of children would be a pretty big deal, I think. I think that would go places.
Well,
why they haven't released these videos yet, I don't know.
Not if it's being suppressed by the mainstream media liberals.
I mean, InfoWars has their own stream. They have a show every single day that doesn't rely on the mainstream press. If Trump would like to get this out there, InfoWars could get this information from the Trump campaign and air the video. They'd have the ability to do that. And, just like when Project Veritas, a clock strikes, it was a broken clock is right twice a day or something like that. Project Veritas had their one moment of truth when they received that leaked video of what was it? An ABC News reporter talking about how she was on top of the Ghislaine Maxwell story, and they said there wasn't enough there or something like that.
Yeah,
and that was a legit deal. That was the mainstream media was happy to cover that, regardless of the fact that it was released by Project Veritas, who is known to really put out reports that end up being complete and utter bullshit. That still made news. So, if they had these videos, it would certainly go places. I'm trying to think why they would not put out these videos. And the idea that when I talk about a presidential candidate's son engaging in fuckery, Donald Trump Jr. going out on mainstream media and talking about these videos as if they're out there and they exist and we all just happen to know about them. That's utterly, it's just insane. Like, how is this just aired on Fox News and they don't push back at all? Again, I know who Fox News is, but if you're alleging to be a legit news organization, how do you just let a president's son working as a campaign spokesperson say this shit? It's just, this is just more proof of the conspiracy theory, factory becoming the mainstream on the right. Like, all these conspiracy theories just go straight up to the right wing now. The mainstream right too. You have it in the Trump campaign. You have it in like the establishment Republicans. The good Republicans, speak out and poo-poo Donald Trump's tone once every 3 years. I mean, they're also complicit. They're sitting there taking this because it's for the greater good of getting a Supreme Court justice that they like, who's going to overturn Roe v. Wade on the Supreme Court. It's just, these guys, I'm getting, it gets to the point where you're just like, what more do you do? Like, what more do you do? Like, there's nothing else at this point. Debunking conspiracies don't really matter to these guys because they're just going to try to push it out anyway and claim that it's some sort of liberal mainstream media agenda to try to suppress the real news.
Mm-hmm. Well, I still want to see the Suns debate happen. I've been a big supporter of this, wanting this to happen, because I think Hunter Biden would just spank Don Jr. at 6 Ways to Sunday with his Chad energy.
I think if he just held up that photo of him and his dad giving him a kiss and was like, "What do you think of this, Don Jr.?" Don Jr. would just start crying on stage.
Right. I mean,
is this an appropriate way for a father to interact with his son?